All right, we're now going to move over to the Western Conference Finals, where the Los Angeles Clippers will not go away. They stave off elimination on Monday night with a 116-102 win over the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix. Game 6 tonight in Los Angeles at the Staples Center. Paul George in Game 5. Huge game, 41 points. He was 15 for 20 from the floor, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. They get another good performance from Reggie Jackson. He had 23 points and 5 rebounds. And Marcus Morris, 22 points on 9 for 16. The Suns get 31 from Devin Booker and 22 from Chris Paul, but not a tremendous a lot to show from everybody else outside of that. Suns just 45% from the floor compared to 55% for the Clippers. Drink, the Clippers have been down 2-0, 2-0, 2-0, and now 3-1. But they got a chance to rally again and stave off elimination again and force a Game 7. Do they get that done tonight?
Listen, this is the reason why Doc Rivers over there with the 76ers. I'll tell you that right now. And the reason I lead with that is, yes, I believe they can get it done because Ty Lue got these guys believing. Ain't no way if you gave me Doc Rivers last year with this group right now, this series probably be done already. So it's a reason why, Bowman said, all right, Doc, you out of here. I'm going to go with the first assistant. So, like I said, I bring that up to say I think the Clippers will win tonight. Because here's the thing. This is the thing about the playoffs. Now the Suns are starting to feel that pressure. They didn't quite feel it in the first series. They definitely didn't feel it in the second series. They swept them. So they definitely didn't feel nothing in the second series. And now, even though they have the series lead, they know if they lose tonight, it's going to be some smoke in the city. Because now you're playing a more veteran-laden Clippers team that, listen, you just said it. They was down 2-0. They was down 2-0. They down 3-1. Like, the reason they get to survive all that is because they got veterans that's coming along to play. Here's the problem when you got young guys. You can front run all you want to do with young guys because they're young, they're inspired, so you can front run. But when it get tight, right? That's why we gave DeAndre Ayton all that credit for the alley-oop that won the game. Because I'm like, that's an impressive play for a guy that young. It really is. And at a moment like that, right? But what we seen in the last game was, you said Booker had 31, Chris Paul had 22, not much left from everybody else. It's a reason for that. We getting into crunch time, baby. Them lights getting a little bit brighter. And for these young players, what I've noticed is the longer the series go, the more crack it is in the armor. And if Clippers win tonight and this series mess around and go to 7, I'm going to take the Clippers. I'm going to take the Clippers in the Game 7. I'm telling you right now. Because you cannot have two cracks at eliminating this team and then you go 0 for 2 in both cracks. If you do that, that tells me you might not be ready quite for this spot because this should be done already. If you weren't ready, this series will be over. The fact that this series is still going on means you might not be as ready. That's the problem with young guys. And then when you're in a series like this, young versus old, now the older guys get to use their veteran savvy. Now, what I want to talk about is this. The unfortunate timing of Chris Paul's return and Devin Booker breaking his nose. I do think because of the time that all that transpired, that hurt the Suns. Because before Devin Booker got beat up by the Clippers and before Chris Paul missed the first 2 games because of protocol, they were rolling in the series before. I had to believe they would have been rolling coming into this series. I mean, look, we seen what the Suns look like without Chris Paul in the first 2 games, So I would have thought a Chris Paul that was still in rhythm would have really pushed these guys. But he broke his rhythm because of health and safety protocol. Then Devin Booker break his nose. Now we got a whole different scenario going. So, shouts out to the head trainer for Phoenix. But here's the deal. I'm gonna take the Suns. So whoever wins tonight, that's who I'm taking for the series. Well, yeah, the Suns win tonight, the series over.
That's it.
What I'm talking about. And then if the Clippers win, I think they'll win it later in the series. But I'm gonna go with the Clippers because I like the veteran savviness. I like the leadership from Paul George. And I just think these young players are starting to feel the heat tonight. And if they come out here playing like trash, ain't no way you're going to tell me that heat ain't getting to them. They come out here and fall off the face of the earth, is a reason why. So, yeah, man, I'm taking the Clippers. I'm taking the winner of tonight game. I keep messing that up. I'm going to take the winner of tonight game for the series.
My man is bold over here. Phoenix,
right.
I'm taking whoever wins tonight. And if Phoenix takes it, I think they do it. They win. I got it. Man, the Clippers, what a ride. I think I might have said this on the weekend show. They got to be one of the most mentally tough teams of all time. You know, you come back from 2-0 in the first round, you come back from 2-0 in the second round, you get down 2-0 in the conference finals. Now you get down 3-1 after winning game 3. You had the game 2, the alley-oop. Thank you for bringing that up, because what a turning point that could have been. Like, Paul George hits 2 free throws. Maybe the Clippers are up 3-2 and they can close it out in the home floor tonight. But they won't go away. And Phoenix now, you know, anytime you're up 3-1 and you don't, I think anytime you are up 3-1 and you don't win game 5 when you have home court, then it gets dicey. Because now you got instead of like that being it and you just get to stay at the crib, now you got to go back out on the road to a hostile environment, and you know you fall there. Then you get one shot, and you know it was I don't know what broadcast it was on. Somebody was saying, man, all the pressure's on the Clippers. Well, I disagree completely. This is all Phoenix got to be. Phoenix, this pressure's been on Phoenix. And I think it's been on Phoenix ever since they went up 2-0. You know, and Kawhi Leonard, like the injury theme is just the whole playoffs. It's just nothing but injuries, almost except Phoenix. Chris Paul was held out of a couple games, but it was health and safety. It was COVID related, as far as I can tell. And I understand Devin Booker broke his nose, but Devin Booker's playing, and we've seen people, have those type of facial injuries, put on a mask and play. My boy Rip Hamilton out here for years. He just fell in love with the mask. I just wear it forever. So now you look at tonight's game, and you know this is about legacy for two guys. I think it's about legacy for Chris Paul, and it's about legacy for Paul George. I mean, the most pressure should be on Chris Paul. This is a guy who he needs this. He needs this to, take just another step forward in like career legacy. He doesn't have a title. He doesn't have an NBA Finals appearance. What he does have is a lot of playoff disappointment, including a previous 3-1 lead that they blew. I think that was a semifinal series against Houston several years ago, if I remember correctly. So you have that going on, and especially with Kawhi being out. That's a big deal. You also got Zubac. Zubac was held out in Game 5 with an MCL issue. We don't know if he's going to play Game 6.
Yo, hold on, Jay. Are you talking about when Chris Paul was with Houston, right?
No. This is back when Chris Paul was with the Clippers.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay, I was a little confused. Okay.
So I think now you got Kawhi, and if Zubac doesn't big play, well, Zubac that don't matter. Well, yes, it does, because the Clippers don't have a lot of size. And we know Zubac has been in there. He's been hanging with DeAndre Ayton. So if Zubac doesn't play, now it's going to be on, dare I say, DeMarcus Cousins, who put up 15 in Game 5. Look at that. I feel good, and I feel good about that. I'm glad Boogie Cousins is healthy and having an impact in the playoffs. I think that's something we should celebrate.
Right.
But, I mean, it's still like if it's DeAndre Ayton against Boogie Cousins, I'm sorry. I mean, I gotta go with the young stud. Right? I got to go with the young guy. I got to go with Ayton. So I think Phoenix still has the advantage, at least from a talent perspective and a health perspective. But from a mental perspective, they got to be feeling the pressure, and that's what it's going to come down to how they handle it. I do think if I'm looking at Game 5 and I'm looking at what they did, I'm looking at Devin Booker and Chris Paul taking 41 shots, and then I'm looking at the rest of their starting lineup. They got about 20. So I'm looking at Ayton, I'm looking at Miles Bridges and Jay Crowder, and I'm saying I think Chris Paul and Devin Booker I think they gotta share it just a little bit more. They got to get these other guys involved. Let them take some of that load off that backcourt. And if they do that, I think they'll be successful. I think Miles Bridges and Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton, those guys can help you. So I really don't understand why Mikal Bridges is taking 5 shots. So they got to get their teammates involved. Don't try to do it all by themselves, especially Chris Paul. Do what you do best, get other guys involved. But if I had to make a prediction, I'm going to go Phoenix. I'm going to go Phoenix tonight. I think they close it out. But just like the other series, I am by no means certain. There's just too many injuries. There's too many things going on for me to be absolutely certain about these things right now.